Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we have quite an interesting update in the entire 2024 US presidential election cycle. President Joe Biden has just announced a few minutes ago that he is dropping out of the presidential race. He will no longer be the Democratic candidate for president in the 2024 election, and well, basically, at least right now, as it stands as of the time of me recording this video, Donald Trump is pretty much standing entirely, unguarded in this election. It's pretty much really no competition on the table. Now, obviously, that's not going to remain the case for very long. The Democrats will eventually put somebody up to the table to run in this entire thing, but this is clearly, I don't know, I don't want to say it's unprecedented because for weeks now, the discussion has been whether or not the Democratic Party is going to try to basically recall Biden as the candidate, considering, do I even need to state the obvious? Do I even really need to go through it? I mean, Biden is essentially a half-sentient corpse walking around with the guidance of other people. I mean, he looks like he probably can't react to stimuli very well anymore. The guy obviously belongs in like a nursing home eating pudding and watching the old folk shows. And, well, we got the official announcement just a few minutes ago here. I'm going to go ahead and read this entire thing. My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve you as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who've worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work, and let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we're the United States of America, and it's signed off. So, obviously, like I said, there's been this talk for weeks now. Are the Democrats going to try and push a new candidate? Obviously, a lot of the talk has been some of the Democrats are kind of more behind Kamala Harris now, especially after the debate performance that we saw. Now, I made a video about that when the debate happened, like pretty much right after the debate, and I think like most Americans, everyone was pretty disappointed in Biden's performance up there. Now, I really didn't expect for this to be an intellectual debate on either side where, people were just really spitting facts, absolutely no lying. Both of them got caught lying in several different instances. But I mean, Biden could like barely say a comprehensive, anything. There was nothing coming out of his mouth that really made sense. Like, it got to the point where he had to tell the media, right, that he would drop out of the presidential race if his doctors diagnosed him with a condition. And over the last few days, Biden has been fighting COVID-19. So, I mean, with this announcement right now, it makes me wonder if when he finally does the speaking to the nation part later this week that he described in this letter, I wonder if they're going to announce whether or not if he was actually formally diagnosed with something. He did say that would be the reason why he would drop out. Then on top of that too, I mean, he's already fighting other illnesses. We've seen just countless clips throughout his presidency of the guy displaying dementia and fucking Alzheimer's symptoms. Honestly, I would not be surprised if that's why he's dropping out of the race. Really, it could be for a couple different reasons. Like I said, it could be that he is diagnosed with something. Honestly, I think it's a 50-50 on whether or not they'd even tell people if he was diagnosed with something. Like, they could do it, or maybe they just decide to keep it secret. I really don't know what the outcome's going to be on that one. But also, it could have just simply been the pressure from the Democrats. I mean, a lot of insiders in the Democratic Party had been basically pressing the red button after, like I said, that debate performance, and after the last few months. Biden's approval rating hasn't really been good, you know what I mean? So it's not like he's a super popular candidate to really begin with, at least from what I've been able to see. And I think realistically what most people who are voting for Biden are doing, they're either voting for him because they are established Democrats and that's their guy, or they're voting for him because they don't like Donald Trump. You know what I mean? But now, obviously, there's this massive hole to fill, and really, I don't think this is good for the Democrats. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? And this is coming from somebody who didn't vote for Biden. I didn't vote for Trump. In the last election, I voted third party. I honestly think that even if Biden wasn't gonna, drop out of the race here, I think that after the Trump assassination attempt, Trump was pretty much sealed to win the election. Not only is Donald Trump obviously popular with half of the country, but after the dude got literally shot in the fucking head, and the first thing he did was jump to his feet and throw his fist in the air in front of the flag and fucking chant fight to his supporters, I think it was kind of over with right there. You know what I mean? Like, that is an image that's going to, whether you like him or not, it's going to be permeated in every American history book for the rest of time, period. There is no image, there is no moment as iconic as that in Biden's presidency. And to a good portion of the country, that alone right there pretty much sealed the deal. I mean, even just a few days ago, before Biden even announced he was dropping out, you had CNN projecting that there was a possibility that Trump could win 44 out of 50 US states in the upcoming election. So not only is it starting to appear like a Trump versus Biden run would have been a landslide for Trump, Biden, like I said, already wasn't a popular candidate before the assassination attempt. Democrats were already in the background hollering, hey, what the fuck are we gonna do, after they saw what happened in that debate. I mean, even Obama was being rumored in the background to be concerned about the future viability of another Biden administration. And I get what's going on now. For the Democrats, they think that this is the opportunity, right? Okay, we can back Biden out of this election gracefully. He's not going to get fucking mud stomped in a second run. We can put forward a better, more viable candidate that, half the country, 2/3 of the country isn't terrified, will die in his sleep in office, or fucking walk himself off the stage by accident. We can actually put someone forward. But in my opinion, I honestly think it's too late. I mean, you gotta realize, we are at this point, it's almost August. We are just a couple of weeks away from actually doing this election. And Trump has obviously basically had the last 4 years already guaranteed as the Republican nominee, right? He's been basically in the background, fighting all these fucking trials and all this stuff going on, right? The whole January 6th thing. He and his supporters have kind of just been fucking going through the shit with that, right? Everyone's screaming and trying to prosecute him and whatnot, right? They've gone through that over the last 4 years. They still stand behind the guy. The Republican Party still stood behind the guy throughout the entire thing. He's obviously renominated, and he's their guy. But now the Democrats have to try and hurry someone into that position in the last couple weeks of the election, when the entire cycle so far, they've already been backing Biden. They've already been saying that this is their guy. Realistically, it's just... they're kind of fucked, I feel like, either way. Unless they put up an insane candidate, I think it's kind of already sealed. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because they don't like Donald Trump. Trust me, I didn't vote for the guy either. But reality is reality. The facts are the facts, you know what I mean? Trump was already polling quite high, for all of the controversy that he's gone through. The guy survived an assassination attempt on live television, basically, in front of all these people. Now, who are the Democrats going to nominate? We really don't know. I would say there's probably a 95% chance that they're just going to throw Kamala Harris up there because she's already the vice president, right? She's already a pretty safe pick, you know what I mean, for them. She already has the experience and everything. I don't really see anybody else on the Democratic side that they're going to try and throw into that position. None of the other people would even have any sort of opportunity to really campaign. I think that's really why the Democrats are are kind of in a bad position because, to be honest with you, as much as Joe Biden was unpopular with a lot of the country, I think Kamala Harris is also extremely unpopular with a good portion of the entire country. And realistically, this is kind of the last chance. You know what I mean? Like I said, this election is very quickly coming up. And a good portion of people, they kind of already have their minds made on who they want to vote for, whether it's Democrat, whoever's going to go up for the nomination, or whether it be for Trump, or whether it's third party like Robert Kennedy Jr., or, you know, a libertarian or Green Party candidate, whatever, right? This is kind of the last ditch effort for the Democrats, right? So the way I see it, they have to really either dig deep and get a great candidate, or maybe they can try and talk Robert Kennedy into taking the Democratic nomination. I don't know if that's something he'd be interested in, or if he's even feigned interest in that before. I really don't know. I think that's really the only two options I see on the table for viability, because RFK, he's been polling like 10% in a lot of the polls, which is nothing significant, obviously, when you're running as an independent, because, you know, Trump and Biden, they're up in like the 30s and 40s, but I think if he got the Democratic nomination, even though obviously a lot of his beliefs and policies and whatnot are probably not what Democrats would absolutely be thrilled for, I think personally that would probably be one of their more viable candidate options, if he would be willing to do that. I don't really see Kamala winning a national election. I guess they could try to put like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, or somebody like that up for the task. Once again, I don't think Gavin Newsom is going to win a national election. I don't really see any candidates on that side that are going to step up and beat the level of, you know, familiarity really that Trump has already established. And like I said, the whole assassination thing, I think that really kind of, I don't want to say it was the complete nail in the coffin, because, I mean, the Democrats could win the election hypothetically, but I think it swung the momentum so far on Trump's side that it's just going to be kind of hard to come back from, whether people want to accept that or not. And I mean, you can dislike this video and you can be mad and stick your fingers in your ears and say, oh, I'm not listening, because truthfully, that's what a lot of people do when it comes to like the viability of Trump winning. But I just want to remind you that same level of not listening, Trump's not real to me, that's the same thing that got him elected the first time. Nobody took Trump seriously when he was running against Clinton in 2016. Everybody thought she was going to win. And then we woke up the next day and he was fucking president-elect of the United States. And it's just like now, a lot of people, they don't want to accept the truth that this Joe Biden pick really kind of helped Donald Trump's campaign in a way that shouldn't have happened if they picked a better candidate. But obviously, Biden had already won an election, so they just went with him again. And it, I think, came back to bite them in the ass, because now this whole dropout here, really, what is the answer going forward? I don't know. We'll have to see what they do. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be Kamala that they end up calling up to bat, but who knows? I mean, it's tough sitting for the Democrats right now, honestly. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Optimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus supporters. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, talking about Biden dropping out of the election and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs. For $10 a month, you get access to loads of exclusive videos and archived live streams, my members only Minecraft server where you can possibly appear in gameplay, early access to all new uploads, an invitation to the private Discord, and much more.